Now, why do drug dealers use this car?
I don't know.
It's completely useless as a drug dealer car. It has some drug dealer features I noticed. For example, when you sit up front, you have a button to actually lock your rear doors. If I have functions like this, I'd like to smack somebody. Okay. The Queen suffers from sticky buttons. That's a very known problem. What? That's not funny. Many cars suffer from the sticky button problem.
But not after 8 years.
Certain cars have this slight coating over the buttons, and that develops like a stickiness to the touch. And I found that you gotta use the Neutrogena makeup remover wipes to take care of that. You can get cheap wipes, but no. The Queen wants the Neutrogena. We're not gonna go on the most obvious button. The tissue does not stick to the button. That's already good. This appears to be working.
I don't know.
Okay, so it looks like the Queen knows what's good. This button doesn't stick anymore.
But it's still wet.
So what do you think?
Oh, nice.
Nicer.
Yeah.
But you see the scratches in there?
Well,
I wonder if I have to take the coating completely off. Some people took the coating off.
I wonder what ASL means.
That's a speed limiter.
That is a stupid button. We don't need that in Germany.
Okay, so this hack worked somewhat, but important to know, these wipes do not take off this fine coating, which makes the button sticky. So they still have that soft touch to them. If you want to take that off, you got to use different methods from the internet. What do you want to do now?
I want to sit here and turn the car on and use a massaging seat.
And recently, it developed a exhaust gas temperature sensor fault, okay? That's really weird. I know I had the exhaust off, but I seriously don't think that I introduced this problem. Immediately after I start the vehicle, the exhaust gas past the DPF is way too high. So anyhow, I'm gonna have to fix that. The post DPF sensor is basically this baby back here, so I may have to drop the exhaust a little bit. So I had no luck getting the sensor out with the muffler still inside the vehicle. So I just simply took it out. It takes me like less than 20 minutes by now. And I can even do that alone without Vera. So because it's not coming out and because I got a spare, I'm just gonna cut it off. €120 cut off. Luckily this is past the DPF because this would certainly ruin it. What a debacle. Jesus. You know what you have to do to get an M12 by 1.25 thread cutter? You have to drive 1.2 kilometers into the neighboring village and just borrow one. Oh my God. Oh. It just doesn't end.
Yes, on an almost brand new car. What did you do? I mean, that is...
So I got it out. That's the remaining piece. This is the new OEM Land Rover sensor, €125. And we're going to use our Metaflux special anti-seize for high temp out of Switzerland. Okay, and this goes back into my newly cut LR times thread. For tightening, we use my cheap Chinese 14mm open-end spanner.
It's too much.
That's it. This thing can go back in, and maybe we got one problem resolved. I got this thing back installed, and we're ready for a test now, right? 3.29 volt and 100 degree is the starting point, and I think it's okay now again. Let's check this out. I got this really cool keychain. A Patreon out of Switzerland, Miro, sent this to us. Now, the Queen did come with a remote start of the fuel burning heater, so I haven't tested this. I'm gonna check it out what that does. I think that's a good sign, right? I mean, blinking green is better than blinking red on a Land Rover. Let's see how that is on the inside now. Oh, wow. Now in my Land Rover Discovery, the fuel burning heater is not very effective to heat the interior, but in this car it works pretty nice. There's warm air coming out of the vents. -7 degrees. It's blowing now warm air immediately. Okay, here we got this annoying thing. To turn on the heated seats, you gotta first push this button, then you gotta wait about an hour. And this is just ridiculous. Can't turn on the heated seats now because it's still booting or whatever. Now there it is. And now I can turn this on here. This is completely stupid to operate, okay? Everything is a dual action, okay? You gotta hit something, select something, hit something, select something. Versus in a Discovery 4, it's a direct push of a button for everything.
We are in the Queen on a trip, and I gotta keep on hitting the massage seat button. It turns off every 10 minutes. What?
Yeah, the Queen kind of quits the support after 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah, that
traffic
defender
big
is
time.
holding up traffic. He's supposed to be.
Have to quickly turn here.
Yeah. Going on to the A6, which is the prettiest Autobahn in all of Germany. And I've been on all of them.
I completely agree. That stretch of Autobahn down in the Pfalz is extremely pretty. And there's no speed limit, guys. Fluoride sign in the dash here, if you check it out. Okay. And it's just beautiful. It goes here through the forest. The Queen goes 160. I want to say pretty effortless, but by far not as effortless as our Land Rover Discovery 4 with the TDV6 and 258 horse.
That is true.
That car goes extremely effortless. It actually makes you drive 160 on the Autobahn versus this Range Rover with the V8. I gotta push it constantly, okay? The engine is just not very responsive. It needs to shift down all the time. It does not have the amount of torque at low RPMs. It has a tremendous amount of torque at like 2000 RPM. Huge, but it really does not have the torque in a usable RPM range. Yes, it's more powerful by far, but not in a daily driving condition. I gotta push this vehicle. And I tell you, if you push this vehicle, okay, I show you what happens right here.
Oh.
This dumbass. Okay.
We didn't pay attention.
We didn't pay attention. Okay, right here is my driving style. We are on the Autobahn, not pushing it. And check this out, okay? This baby is already telling me that we got a high fuel consumption.
Hey, it's a V8.
But everybody on the internet is reporting this vehicle to have the equivalent or better fuel consumption than the V6. It might be true if you're driving Miss Daisy all the time, and I'm definitely Miss Daisy's driver. I'm driving slow. It's supposed to be lighter and have less wind resistance than the Discovery 4. So I do not agree with anyone who says that this drivetrain is better than the TDV6. It is better if you want to drive this baby like a race car. But for daily driving, the SDV6 is the better choice. In traffic, it has instant torque because it runs a higher RPM with less consumption. So it gets you a more pleasant drive. It breaks the crankshaft once in a while. That's really the only downside. But you just fix that and you're okay with the TDV6.
So that's a legal dirt road.
Yeah, like one of two in Germany.
Yes.
So we arrived here at our destination with our Queen, and Vera needs to eat something first, of course. So this is one of the first trips we really did with this car now. This was a long Autobahn stretch, and it drives absolutely nice, okay? Remember, the entire review was from some spoiled Land Rover Discovery 4 driver kids.
Yes.
Okay, this is an absolute magnificent, beautiful car, and I think, you know, the color white with the black inlays what we have, I just love it. It's so nice. It's gonna be really hard to sell it at one point.
Yeah, and it's a perfect alternative if you don't want to deal with those nasty engine failures.
I don't mind a crankshaft breaking, okay? We haven't had one in quite a while.
So the Pfälzer Wald, where we are right now, is prime hiking destination. And Robin lives here and we love it and we are always excited to come here and do a great hike. There's this one.
Show me how that face looks. Very nice. Looks like it's from a 16th century sailing ship. Ooh, shit, check this out. Right here. Maybe I shouldn't have driven with these tires 190 on the Autobahn yesterday. You know, sometimes you can't see these defects. You know, you have to actually kind of bulk the tire to make it visible. Look at all the little cracks in here. Ooh. We're under the car here, and check this out what I just found. Listen. Oh, how nice. I think they hired actually a bell designer to get that noise. So I got some heavy dampening material attached here. This is like some 5mm rubber, okay? The desktop mechanics, please remember, there is a plastic oil pan here above, so it's not that sensitive. Much better. Vera got me this new press and I just assembled it. So let's see what it does with my old hard drive here. Okay, and I'm not wearing any safety glasses. At 10. Okay, here we go. Yeah, that's more interesting. You know. Ooh. Okay. I think I can put that in the trash now. Nobody will be able to read my data. Look at the weather we got here. Beautiful day. I think this is about one of the first sunny days we have here since we got the Queen. I wonder if this also counts as English weather, because it came equipped with English weather. Look at that, I didn't even use it in a long time, because the tires don't have a snowflake on them. So this car is actually not street legal in Germany right now. If I just get stopped by the police, it costs me only 60 euros and 1 point in Flensburg. And then Vera called me out here to take away this little wooden block when she is in the car, because the parking brake isn't working. Because you can't drive over this block with this car, obviously. We gotta fix that parking brake very soon, because it's a manual transmission and you can't run the car when the park brake isn't working. It will roll down in our driveway. Pretty logical.
We had a rare ice storm here and I just couldn't get it done.
Yeah, so that's an exception. Typically, we don't let vehicles run in Germany to warm up, but it was necessary in order to get the other doors open.
Complete ice coat.
Oh wow, hey. And also the car does have this little diesel heater, everybody knows that here. So with this diesel heater, it really gets warm very efficiently. Oh yeah, it's blowing, jeez. It's blowing really hot air.
Yeah, I can't reach because I try to climb on the hood and it cracks, of course.
Here iced up.
Oh.
Okay, but we don't have to show our viewers in the world how I'm scratching the ice off your car. So here, I take this away from it. You hear that noise? We're gonna address that very soon. I don't know what that is, but we bought all kinds of spare parts for the steering. And as you can hear, I started the diesel heater. I want to see what that does. How good does it get off the ice? So that is now quite a bit later, after one full cycle, and you can see that the car is ice-free on the side. Yeah, it's definitely not frozen anymore. There's still a big ice sheet, okay? And the next thing I wanted to do is actually try how good that de-icer works on the windshield. Okay, let's turn this on here. So this heated front screen function already turned off once and I turned it on again. I'm not sure if this is ever gonna melt through here. Oh, check this out. It actually does work. And exactly here to this border, see? Where the heated windshield begins. Wow, that's awesome. Look here. Yeah.
So, wir sind ja im Range Rover, toll. Der könnte heimfahren, das Auto wechseln. For the first time in almost 10 years, the Discovery 3 didn't start. That never ever happened before. We had minus 10 degrees yesterday night, and I always make sure everything is turned off, but the battery is dead.
So once you get minus 10 degrees, it kind of weeds out any car which has some sort of a weak battery.
And we do understand minus 10 degrees is not cold for a lot of people.
Vata batteries, Silver Dynamic, they're not really that good. I don't know why I buy them, but I keep buying the Vata Silver Dynamic. I'm using the charger. I got it set to AGM battery. That's important that you have an AGM compatible charger. But what's much more interesting...
There's something else oh! What else is interesting? Oh.
This morning at 7 o'clock we had to take the Queen, okay, and wake up the Queen at minus 10 degrees and get it onto a ride to the to take Philip to the train station. All doors are frozen, okay, completely frozen, so you have to use some brute force, or you have to give the Queen like 25 minutes to warm up with the diesel heater, which works great, but there was no time.
Yeah.
So we ripped one door open and then we pushed open the other door. Then we drove it for the first time in minus 10 degrees. I gotta say, the air distribution on the inside is by far not as good as in a Discovery. Okay? Even in Vera's old Discovery, there is just more hot air. Okay?
Yeah.
And you can direct the air where you want it. In the Queen, it basically is like a light whistle. It's all quiet and nice, but it doesn't have any power.
Yeah,
So
you freeze your
annoying.
feet off.
Yeah, that was very annoying.
Of course, we do have a beautiful Discovery 4, but
Robin parked it in.
when was the last time you took him out?
Last week I drove it to work.
So we don't know the battery status of that car.
I had this charged up. I know it's working. It's
Oh,
no
okay.
problem. And I enjoyed it a lot, okay? Taking that car out for a spin is always pleasant.
So as of right now,
With
the
the
days are numbered.
With the Queen, I'm not so sure, okay? There are just so many things which annoy me. And slowly, the annoying things are overweighing the positive things, especially in harsh conditions, okay? Versus on my Discovery or on your Discovery, I never ever had that feeling where I was annoyed by the car. It's the opposite. I was always like, wow, thank God this baby is working so great. But
Yeah.
here, the heated seat's not working. the stupid touchscreen controls on the inside, which is not thought out well. The no V8 sound.
Yeah.
We had to get 2 new tires for it. They have a big, huge rip in them. 720 euros. Huh?
766 euros.
Oh, sorry. 766 euros for these 2 tires, okay?
Yeah, but that's because the Queen gets Continental and our Discoveries get Hancock.
Anyway, that's not the car's fault, okay? But I can't spend that kind of money if I'm not satisfied with the car overall. And I'm just not satisfied. And the biggest downside the car has is, in my opinion, the pairing between the engine and the transmission. It is by far not as good as people state and say. The SDV6 drives way nicer.
Yeah, but that's because they don't know the SDV6.
Well,
they have nothing to compare to.
I don't know. I'm sure there are a lot of people out there who appreciate the torque and the horsepower of this vehicle.
Yes.
But I don't, okay? When I drive a vehicle, I'm driving 85% in traffic. And I'm merging lanes. And I'm on traffic lights. And what's important to me is that the car is responsive under these conditions. And this car is not.
Oh.
This is by far the slowest car on every traffic light. It's by far the slowest car when you change lanes. It does not react. And that's for me actually the showstopper. The car is just not a match of my driving style. I think if we buy a Queen again, we're gonna get the one with the SDV6 to find out how it is. And we can fix the crankshaft, okay? Gives us something to do.
Yes, the engine failure.
It has an engine which doesn't brake and it's not known to brake. It's not really suitable for our channel.
He ruined his nice jacket.
Okay, I had to lay under the Queen. What can I do?
Oh.
And I had Robin put it on wheels yesterday. Check that out how he did this. He put on nice rollers so we can wheel it around and it's not in the way. And I hope it's gonna do the job when we wanna press in and press out suspension bushings. That's really the intention we have. It's made in Poland. It's rated for 20 tons, but it doesn't do the 20 tons. I already tried it. I can't get the needle all the way to up here. I would have to put my full body weight on the hydraulic cylinder, and I'm afraid it's gonna snap that hose or something.
Oh, we're gonna get so many comments that you cheapened out and the 20 tons are not enough.
I think if 20 tons is not enough to press something in on a suspension bushing, you got other problems, okay? Robin and I put our grinder here. He put it on a steel plate. He also put rollers underneath. And he used a post from an old bench grinder, okay? So that's really nice. And we got this now set up over here. In his shop, he's got all the papers right here. And he's got water here. He put this little attachment to it. So that's a really nice setup, I think.
And Christian built that.
Yeah, I built this, I think 2 or 3 years ago, I built the entire grinder.
You built it like 5-6 years ago, before YouTube.
Robin was gifted this huge shear, okay? And he took it apart, he painted all the components. This is made by Robin here. This thing is humongous. I think it's a petting house.
Yeah.
And it has a handle which goes all the way to up here.
Cool. Yes, and here's our engine lift, and I kind of miss using that. I'm looking for a project car.
Don't suggest the Defender, okay? We're not millionaires.
Oh, the old Defender costs more than the Queen in a rusty old condition.
Everybody who paid attention when we rebuilt Vera's car, we actually did not replace the front suspension bushings, and I think that caught up with us now.
Oh my God!
And I bought, of course, the armored bushings again. They're not hollow here and here, they're solid.
Yeah.
So they cost the same money, but they're a little stiffer. But we only use them on the lower suspension arms in the rear, front lower suspension arms in the rear. And what we also have not redone on Vera's car, the servo hydraulic lines from the power steering. They're leaking now, so I had to bite the bullet and get a complete set of new power steering hoses, really Land Rover OEM stuff, so I'm holding in my hand here like 350 euros.
Yeah.
I bought a new power steering pump. Normally we don't replace components prematurely just to be safe, but because we're putting now new lines in, We're also going to replace the pump. And they had the miler pump on sale. We're going to put that in. Then the power steering, except for the rack, is completely new, including new knuckles up front. Then we got here.
Just in case.
Everybody who watches our channel knows that we don't buy the oil pump from Land Rover. We buy it from PSA, which is 100% the same pump.
Yeah.
Also genuine Ford, the hologram here.
Yeah.
And you just simply buy the 1001 G2. That's the latest version. It matches the latest version from Land Rover. And this OEM Ford pump cost me 129 euros. So I just bought one. Okay.
Yes,
Just
because we had a
a
debacle on Fabian's Discovery and
we didn't have the pump around. There is an intensive repair on the Queen coming up, which is actually a maintenance job.
Oh, really?
Where there is no supporting YouTube video out there.
Oh my God.
Because I will do an ACE fluid change in the same quality Land Rover will, but without using special tools. But I still have to work out the details, and I need the oscilloscope from Edgar, and I need Edgar's help a little bit. Oh, you got your little car selections
yes,
back there?
We have a Range Rover also, and a Bully.
I don't trust my tire shop to take off the wheels on a Range Rover, so I always take the wheels down there myself. Anti-seize on these three stupid surfaces. Only a stupid engineer would design. So, how did these rims get here? Did you unload them?
Yes.
They are.
Took them with the mall crawler.
This one was mounted hidden links.
Yes.
But we learned in so many videos from our viewers that the good tires, the new tires, need to go into the back. And this is an old tire. The car.
They are the same model. The Conti winter contact.
We had a lot of comments. Why don't you just put all-season tires onto the Queen? And there is a very simple reason for that. We are in Germany. And in Germany, you need to have street legal winter tires during the season where you are exposed to potentially snow and ice. Street legal means that your tire needs to have the icicle symbol, which is this one right here. You can get all-season tires with that icicle symbol on it, okay? No problem, but not in the size 22-inch.
Yes.
You're down to 0 suppliers, at least in the upper quality range. So you can get some really crappy Chinese tires with the symbol on it, but this thing goes more than 200 kilometers an hour on the German Autobahn. And that's what we drive.
Yes.
What else do you do in Germany? Why would Germany even exist if you don't have the Autobahn? In a country with rules and regulations, plus in a country where you go 200 kilometers per hour with 2.8 tons, we need to buy stupid tires like this, and we can't go with our floppy all-season tires year-round.
No, we can't.
Even this baby goes past 200, okay?
Of course it does.
But I don't take it to that speed because it's hurting it a little bit, okay? But this baby easily goes there. It's made for it.
Yeah.
And it takes so much gas when you do it that you actually want to get your own climate gluers onto your back seat. And when the car stops, you say, "Kush, kush, kush, go outside, glue yourself down. You deserve it now." I can actually fit the 20-inch rims onto here. This works. That's the smallest rim I can fit. But it's cheaper to just use what I have and get 2 new tires for it. And that's what we did now.
766 euros.
Okay, now I feel bad again.
Christian.
2 tires. Here, this is a big ass tire, and they only mounted 1 row of weights here.
Yeah.
So that's a good sign. Oh no, there's another one here.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, which means it had a static unbalance. 1 weight only here, and 4 weights over here. See how they cleaned it up here?
Yeah.
This is what a good tire shop does.
Yes.
This thing is so heavy.
Do you want me to help you?
No.
I'm strong.
I just want to show how strong I am. Okay.
So what about the
Direction of rotation.
rotation?
I didn't pay attention. Oops.
You had to lift it an extra time.
They are so heavy.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So look at how dirty that car is.
I'm struggling here like crazy. And you showing everybody how dirty it is.
Yes. That is not an icicle sign. That is a mountain with a snowflake.
A mountain with a snowflake. Now I know it all. And if you cause an accident, especially an accident where somebody gets hurt, you can get in real trouble.
And they are gonna check a Range Rover, you know? The drug dealer car.
Now, why do drug dealers use this car?
I don't know.
It's completely useless as a drug dealer car. It has some drug dealer features I noticed. For example, when you sit up front, you have a button to actually lock your rear doors. Okay, so when you have your co-drug dealer sitting in the back and the guy isn't paying his bill, you can hit that lock door button while he pulls his gun and he can't escape. So that's pretty decent feature, I would
And
think.
the stealth mode.
So you can sit in the car in the dark. But what is if you want to transport a body? You don't have a trunk. You're gonna get shot from somebody. Okay, and then yes, there is like this little piece of cardboard what you can fold over it here. So if you put a body in here to transport him away from the, crime scene to the final resting place, and that body isn't 100%, out of order, wakes back up, he just kicks that in, reaches up front, strangles somebody, and your door lock button doesn't even help you. Get some American car with like a real trunk. Okay,
Oh,
where you
yeah.
can put 2 bodies in. Let's say you have a couple of bodies you want to transport, and you gotta lay those seats flat. You've got these buttons here.
Takes forever.
Okay, so you gotta go like this. Okay. Watch it and think about the police is looking for you. Jesus Christ. Okay, the other people are standing here. One holding the legs, the other one holding the arms. Can you hurry up? And look now, the driver's seat's coming back.
The driver's seat.
Honestly, who dreamt up this function? On this car, I would have laid all seats flat, loaded all bodies in, closed everything up, and I would be already on the road. And here, I'm waiting for the seats. Watch it, what it's doing. Pay attention. Did you see it?
Yes, you.
It crumbled in the seat belt. Now, the seat belt is gone. It's crumbled in here. It crushed it in here. We're talking about a drug dealer car. Everybody is in a hurry. So you're going to have the 250 kilogram guy now getting into that seat and they want to go, okay? And then they already running. The police is behind him and he goes like, I don't have a seat belt. What is the chance that you now increase your getaway possibility from the police if the big guy on the back seat doesn't have a seatbelt to buckle up? There's the seatbelt. Now I got to walk around here. Okay, here is your damn seatbelt, okay? Up again. Everybody happy now? Can we get in the seat? And if I have functions like this, I'd like to smack somebody. Okay. And let's assume at Land Rover it was a dude. Wouldn't you want to slap him
Yes.
for something like this?
Yeah.
A whole video about laying the seats flat.
And you only mounted one tire.
And then this thing again. I don't need that.
No.
Not even in a Range Rover, okay? When you do that accidentally, everybody looks at you like, what the hell? Why is he opening that thing now? Can we continue with our rims? Do
Yes.
something easy. I'm only talking about the getaway car functionality of this, okay? What a drug dealer would use. For normal people like me, oh, it's a great car, I love it, okay? It has enough horsepower to get away, and it seats enough people, and it's comfortable, and you can look for someone in the dark. Here in the front, I'm not ready for it yet. I gotta attach my sway bar link here again. I wanted to investigate the clunking noise in the front and see if my sway bar links here, the connecting rods, are really worn out. And they're not, okay? The problem with this is actually the sway bar itself. The hydraulic actuator is installed in the middle of the sway bar, and it can make the sway bar go in like this or like this. And the vehicle is using that to counteract the leaning of the vehicle in curves. Depending on how hard the car is leaning, the more it's going against it to raise it back up, That actually works pretty good. You can feel that in the car, that this car does not have the tendency to lean, even if it's a high-up, heavy car, compared to the Discovery 3. But you got to deal with this hydraulic sway bar. And this thing is known to fail at one point. The sway bar itself has actually now a little bit play. On this one, it's not so bad. The specification is plus minus 10 millimeter, but look.
That is plus minus 10 millimeter.
Yeah, could be. But what's important is not the amount of play, it's the clunking you hear. When you run with one wheel over a bump on the road, that's what you hear. You hear that light clunking. Hear it?
And you got to torque it, my good friend.
We just leave it like this.
Oh my God. I'm not ashamed to admit that.
7.5 Ugadugas. Good quality of our brake pads.
Oh my God, you're gonna need new brake pads. Yeah, but it's not me who's wasting the time. Yeah, that thing is heavy.
Okay, I saw people using like a little cart to take these wheels on and off.
Really?
That's like sitting down when you change your socks. And I'm sitting down when I'm changing my socks. But I can still get a rim on without this little cart.
Not me. Okay, for me, putting on socks is not a measure of fitness. And I'm not, but it has automatic air pressure monitoring, right?
It has an automatic injection seat, so if you lose a tire, you get shot out through the glass window. I think if the cars get stolen, it's not a problem of Land Rover, okay?
Yeah.
It's definitely not. I mean, which cars get stolen? Well, the ones which are desirable, but in Germany, they're not gonna get stolen. What are you gonna do with the thing?
Nobody's gonna steal that car.
And you can't even put a body in as a getaway car.
They are so damaged. Busted. Every single rim. I mean, even a woman, feels bad once she hits the rim once or twice.
The only person who doesn't feel bad when you hit a rim is actually the drug dealer.
Yeah, exactly. Okay? So maybe that was a drug dealer car.
Why don't used car dealers delete the navigation system from the previous owner, okay?
Why doesn't the previous owner do that?
Yes, it was a drug dealer car. We're done. We haven't checked the air pressure, but it's done. The car can now be driven street legal in winter on the Autobahn with more than 200 kilometers an hour.
In the snow.
Well, maybe that's a bad combination. Maybe I should offer the climate gluers to drive them to their gluing site and pick them back up in the evening and maybe serve them some coffee. That's what you feel when you drive this baby. I know everybody goes, the thing goes like so many miles and per gallon and showing the numbers and how great. Yes, it is. Okay? If you drive slowly. But if you push it, my Challenger was like not even zipping the gasoline. I had this one on an average over 300 kilometers at 19 liters per 100 kilometers. Over 300 kilometers in that phase where we did all the test driving and stuff.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But it does deliver in this case, okay? It does deliver torque. It's really awesome. Just yapping and babbling. And
well, that's what most YouTubers do on YouTube and get 300,000 clicks in 2 weeks or in 1 week.
And you don't even learn from them if this is usable as a getaway car or not. You know nothing. You know how they make coffee and that's it. Well, I hope you learned something in this little short episode. And
what about our Patreons? You completely forgot them.
And at this point, we want to thank our Patreons a lot for their support and
we'll see you next Sunday.